Chainsmoker Cat has to be one of the most disgusting, vile, vomit-inducing, stomach-churning, degenerate pieces of garbage of a show that I have ever watched. But I kind of like it for that. I kind of like it. This show just holds nothing back about how disgusting these characters are. And I think there's sort of, for some people, sort of a relatability there. There's obviously an acknowledgement about how disgusting it is. It's making fun of itself. I think there is a sense here of whoever wrote this has a sense of either living with people like this or they themselves have lived like this, and it's making fun of itself. This isn't one of those things of like, hey, be like us. This is literally either you're going, yeah, that's what it's like, or, oh, that's disgusting. It's nice that the show itself literally filters most of its viewers within the first couple minutes. Like its first segment literally says, this is what you're getting yourself into. If you didn't catch it by the cover art, if you didn't catch it by the PV, this girl's disgusting. And there's disgusting things happening around this character. It literally opens up with this cat girl and she's smoking off her balcony and she pours out her can of used butts with liquid in it over her balcony onto the head of the landlord. The landlord rushes up there really mad. She's changing her shirt. He catches a full glimpse. He gets excited. He goes off, storming off to get rid of that excitement while she's over here looking for used butts inside of her trash before she has explosive diarrhea. If you're not shutting it off by then, you know what you're getting yourself into. You've passed the introduction stage. You've won the tutorial, and you're still going. It's nasty. It is an absolutely nasty show, and it has turned my stomach. But I'm hooked. I'm kind of into this, and it's so funny because this is like literally one of the most like high production shows of the season. It really does feel like the animators and whatnot behind this are really passionate about it. Like they have maybe sort of a connection to it. It's like they like the disgusting nature of it. There's an appeal to sort of looking at something that just kind of is gross. It's like watching the train wreck. It's looking at the car crash as you're driving by. It's looking at something you really shouldn't be looking at, but you're just kind of drawn to it because that nature of it is so odd. I love the fact that the OP has so many references in it too. It seems like, again, a lot of the animators had passion. I seen one post, I think, of the animator that did this dance segment. And the dance segment's obviously like a nod to, you know, Spider-Man. There's a lot of nods and references in the OP itself, but there's a love and a passion for these characters and showing them in different ways that, again, is very referential and entertaining. But this is my thoughts on the first episode. I've already pretty much gotten into it at this point, but let's get into what exactly it's about at this point. So far with this first episode, we get introduced to a character called Yani. I think it's like Yani Neko is like shortened, so it's Yani. And I think all the different cat girls in this series is sort of to the actual name of them shortened in a way, but her name is Yani. She's Chainsmoker Cat. And this cat is, by all signs, a deadbeat. She doesn't have anything going for her. She's struggling to stay at her job. Like, they show a segment where she does go to a job at a warehouse, and she stays there for like 6 hours or something like that before she starts getting like withdrawals because she can't smoke. And so like 30 minutes before her shift is over, she legit just ditches her job and goes to the store to get some cigarettes so she can light up. She's trying to do jobs in order to pretty much pay for her living expenses. And yes, her ability to just buy packs of cigarettes because she's a chain smoker. And it seems like her daily routine is just chain smoking, trying to get some sort of job, scrounging to get her money, or not cleaning up her mess, even though she really desperately wants to. But yes, kind of seeing her life and what she goes through on a daily basis and struggling to keep that next big fix, while at the same time, seemingly people around her acknowledging the horrible state of a life that she has. The landlord who's trying to keep the place clean, him getting very frustrated by her pouring her butts on top of his head or trying to get her to clean up. A lot of emphasis on her sister, Imoko. It seems like she got her life together. She's constantly studying, trying to do good with her life, but still desperately loves her sister. She is definitely a siscon. Like, she's truly worried about her sister, but she just can't stand to be around her sister because she can't stand the smell of tobacco. Like, it literally makes her vomit. So when her sister does get sick, she has to put on a hazmat suit just to go over and take care of her. And the moment that that helmet comes off, she's literally puking off the balcony and trying to get out of there. She desperately wants her sister to do well and do better. But unfortunately, again, that ain't going to happen. But that's basically the gist of it so far. My assumption based on this kind of setup and what I've seen with the preview. It looks like we're going to go through different cat girls, and each one of them has some sort of problem that they have. Like one girl is specifically like an alcoholic. So it's just going to kind of go through each one of them. What I've liked so far about this show is, yes, there is an element of the degeneracy. The aspect of these characters being just absolute slobs, disgusting. There is no shying away from how truly vile it's kind of portraying it. There was a sense that I had early on, having a little bit of relatability here in my younger days, of like the state that these characters are in, being just looking for that next big fix, you know, trying to get that nicotine hit or something like that. There's a relatability here, and I was kind of afraid of that being too emphasized to the point where it's kind of encouraging it. But it does seem like, for real, this author seems to either have experience with it, or at least knows people with it, or they themselves are kind of in it. There's an acknowledgement here that this is not a good thing. Like, you know, putting aside whether or not you care or not what people do with their lives, there is an element here where there is sort of a disgusting nature to it. People find that smell to be unappealing. It makes them sick. You know, letting out a whole bunch of smoke outside of a convenience store, it's obviously going to, you know, be disgusting to people around you. Even the landlord, her coming up and blowing a heart in front of his face and trying to be comical about it, he's literally thrown into this state of like trauma of his old man telling him to go get some smokes from the store and yelling at him, and that smell, that vile smell coming from his mouth, suddenly hitting him again. The sister, although she wants to help her sister so much, she has to, again, wear a hazmat suit just to go help her sister because she's sick, because her room is an absolute swamp and she won't clean up. But even still, I like that there's an emphasis here of, while that is vile and everything like that, there is I don't think it's trying too hard to be serious about it. There is an element of almost Yaniko herself trying to fix her life. That because she wants her sister to come visit, probably because she wants her to give her some money so she can buy more cigarettes, because she wants her sister to visit so bad, she wants to clean up her room because she knows that her sister's not going to visit unless she cleans up her room. But suddenly, the moment she goes to clean up, there's an anxiety. There's almost a crippling anxiety that they have for trying to clean up their life. Every time they try to clean up their life, there's like this swamping of everything that she needs to do in order to fix the situation, and it ultimately leads to her being overcome and overwhelmed by her own straying mind that she becomes paralyzed and pukes. There's almost an anxiety in her to try to perform to clean up her life. And that seems to be what cripples her from ever moving forward. And even still also acknowledging sort of the fears that come with her lifestyle. Having this later part of this first episode have her have this nightmare about the fact that she's going to have lung cancer. She fears death. Despite the fact that she's doing something that is not healthy for her life, she fears what it will ultimately cause in her, which is death. And having her sister there in the hospital with her, getting the news, her sister bawling her eyes out, and her waking up from that dream only to seek out some sort of comfort from her sister on the phone and telling her, I'm going to quit, I'm going to do it. But then, again, still acknowledging that she's going to roll right back into it. The moment that she has a moment of comfort, she goes right back into smoking again. Like, it's just, in the moment of terror, I want to fix this in my life, but I'm going right back into it. Again, there's amongst all this disgusting degeneracy, there is a relatability and a very human message of sort of the worst that we can be in our life and trying to fix it, but yet seeing the struggles and the fears of it, while at the same time still making a comedy. In the end, this is still a comedy. They're going to have fun with this. I kind of give it a lot of respect for that, even though, again, I think because of its lack of wanting to ever censor itself, I think it's going to be not very appealing to most people. But I think those that find it appealing, I think it's going to be a very enjoyable ride. People that are kind of looking for that just absolute slob of a character, something that is just, in some cases, probably much further than you are ever in degeneracy. Sort of to see it and kind of laugh at itself is kind of refreshing and therapeutic in its own way. So again, like in the end, I find this show to be something that I think a lot of people are not going to want to watch, but at the same time, its weird nature and how far down the rabbit hole of pure disgusting nature is kind of what makes it appealing to me personally. So I think it's something will enjoy on a weekly basis. I'm just not sure exactly how long it'll last. I think there is sort of a question mark is, can this keep this up? Is this going to be at some point tiresome? Because I have to admit, there's like one or two skits in this beginning part that wasn't appealing to me. Like the whole bit with the vase, like she's supposed to polish this vase and she's sitting there, you know, polishing it, but she's blowing smoke on it, makes it even dirtier, puts the butts inside the vase, and then she leaves. it was like, okay, yeah, she's disgusting. Like, I don't need to have a bunch of skits that she's disgusting. But at the same time, a lot of the other ones are really funny. Like, there's a bit where she's trying to unpack her smokes and they fly out and it falls on the turd. She walks past the turd, grabs which ones hit the ground, not the turd. And I'm going, she's going to go back, isn't she? And sure enough, she goes back for the ones that hit the turd. She's going to cut off the tips of them because she's that scrounging for money. There's a funny nature here of like just how far she's willing to go for smoke. If she's going to look in her trash can to look for any of the butts that still has a little bit left in it. This has like maybe a stain on it of some sort of unknown liquid. Maybe I can still smoke this one. It's just the measure that she'll go for that next nicotine hit. How stupid she is when she goes to quit and just pretty much takes an entire pack of nicotine patches and just covers her entire body with them, which you really shouldn't do. And the crazy trip that she has from it. It's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, I think the most craziest thing about this entire show is just how much like quality is being put into it. I'm not sure if I want to say budget. I think there's just a lot of very passionate animators behind this that are kind of putting that effort. There's like this crazy perspective shot. The directing is so on point. The animation is fantastic at times. It's not always like crazy animation. It's just like these little bits and pieces, these moments where it just feels like the scene is set and it just feels like you're kind of, unfortunately, sucked into this room of nasty tar-infested walls. It just kind of just pulls you, and her expressiveness is just so on point. Anyways, that's my thoughts on the first episode of Chainsmoker Cat. Hope you guys enjoyed this video as always. Hope you found it informative. Hopefully I helped you avoid something you probably shouldn't want to watch. Or maybe I intrigued you. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button down below. Till next time, y'all take care.